Hello everyone, this is MC Barber. I'm glad to be back with you. I have another haircut here. I have a tutorial on a comb over with a fade. So in this haircut, I comb the hair in the direction in the style I want to create. And as usually, any fade that I do, I start with 1.5. I remove the bulk of the hair. I create a foundation for my fading and for the whole hairstyle. And then I go from there. So here I'm using 1.5 and I'm removing the bulk. Here in this, the way this technique is performed is you really don't follow the contour of the head. There is some freehanding towards the top. So once your clipper is flat against his scalp right there, for example, you just go straight up and leave the clipper, leave the shape of the head on its own, and that ensures the square shape. So what I do here is, once I'm kind of at the widest point of the head, I just keep going up, and the clipper naturally starts leaving the shape of the head. So you do some freehanding there. What this does, besides creating the shape that you desire, square shape, it also almost fades to the long top, almost blends the hair. So you have minimum work to do with your scissors or clipper over comb or whatever technique, or straight edge razor or sculpting technique, blending technique, whatever it is that you're going to use between the sides and the top. As you can see here on the back, it's almost blended. So here, this is my next step to my haircut. I'm starting my fade from very close cut on the back. I mean, I'm starting from approximately 1 millimeter. My clippers are gapped at 0. And this fade I'll be doing from the bottom up. I will be fading upwards. There is few ways to fade. You can fade from the bottom up, as I'm doing here. You can fade from the top down, or you can meet. You can go halfway up and then start from the top down. The reasons you would do different ways of fading, it really depends on the texture of the hair, the fade you are doing, whether you are doing high, medium, or low fade. If I'm doing, for example, low fade, I would rather fade from the top down, as that ensures that my fade will stay low. It will not be moving higher. But this is going to be most likely medium fade, so I do not worry very much how high this fade is going to go. So I'm fading from the bottom up. That's just a few of the reasons why you would fade differently. So here we are. I'm starting my fade here. I'm using my lever on my clippers, using opening and closing the blade to remove that first line from 6 zeros or 1 millimeter or that I already created to my 1/16 of an inch that I just made with my open blade. I like fading this way. This is as you can see, very quick way to fade. It usually takes me about 15 minutes to 20 to do a haircut like this. Keep in mind there is also a lot of freehanding in all of this. I don't like using too many guards. Basically, to do a fade, I use 1.5, 1/16, and then opening and closing your blade. So what you need is 1.5 on your heavy-duty clippers, 1 or 1/8 of an inch for your fading clipper, and 1/16 or half. So this is 1. So actually here in this fade now I'm actually switching a little bit. I'm going from up down. So now this is one, and then I'm going to use half to connect the fade to the top. Here again, when I use one, I also open and close my blade. I do some freehanding, as you can see here. As I go higher, I really do not press my clippers hard against the skull. I rather kind of just, elevate my clippers up and freehand a little bit. I love using cordless clippers. Basically, the cord is not on your way, so you can move easier and freely. The clippers I'm using here are Wall Magic clips. I really like these clippers. They have a special blade as well. It's some people call it a surgical blade or flat blade in the back. I really like that blade. So here now I'm using 1/16 of an inch, or half otherwise. This guard actually is a special guard. It's like one of my favorite guards for fading. I mean, almost acts as a blending shears. When you don't want to create a line and you use blending shears or scissors. Same thing on this 1/16 of an inch on the Wall clippers. I don't think Andis has this particular guard. Wall has it. I really like it. It really helps create these blurry fades. So usually what I do, I have two of these clippers. I have extra one, so I will use this one for this haircut. Once I'm done with this haircut, I will disinfect it and put it to charge, and it will charge for my next haircut, and it will disinfect while I use the other clipper that is already charged. And there it is, your fade. So from beginning to this point, usually it shouldn't take more than 5-6 minutes, because this is you only have like 3-4 steps really, and it's quite simple. It's not rocket science, it's simple to fade. A little shape up here, you use edge of your edgers. I love these edgers. These are Andis. Again, cordless. Really, you have no cord on your way. I also keep two, as you can see on my station. I have an extra pair. I disinfect them after the haircut, and I use the other pair. Now to connect the top with the sides, I use straight edge razor. This technique is razor over comb. As you can see, with the spine of my comb, I press the hair down, and with the teeth of my comb, I push the hair up, and then with the angle that I desire, which in this case is almost at a 20 or 25 degree angle, to remove higher amount of hair, I just take about 1.5 inch strokes, and I remove the desired amount of hair. Razor is really a beautiful tool for men's hair cutting. It was very popular in the 70s and 80s. And here I'm demonstrating how it's actually done. You see, I'm pressing down the hair with the spine of the comb, and with the teeth of the comb I lift up the hair. So it was very popular in the 70s and 80s. It's a straight edge, there is no guard, so you can take as much hair as you like. We do different techniques with the straight edge razor, from point cutting, notching, blending, blunt cutting, sculpting. So you can do with a straight edge razor pretty much every technique that you can do with scissors, except fading. You know, you can do fading with scissors, but really you can't do it with a razor. The difference between razor and scissors, why do I choose razor over scissors? For example, if my client has very thick hair, very coarse hair, the razor cuts an angle, it kind of skins out the hair, breaks the resistance of the hair, so it makes it more playable. It removes the bulk. So with one technique you can really do, for example, two things. You can remove the bulk away, and you can remove the length as well. So you can do more than one technique at, more than one technique, I guess you would say, or you can achieve two things with one technique, as you would say, right? Removing the bulk and removing the length. So here I just remove the ends. I don't go too deep because I don't want to remove the razor cut. So I kind of remove the ends just to make sure the ends are even. I always like to cut from the crown and go forward. I take about 1/4 inch sections. This allows me here to, for example, if I want to leave the front longer, I can start over directing from section to section. You have a traveling guide, but for example, from this point on, you can keep a stationary guide, so you can over direct to that guide every section that comes after that. That's why it's really important that you cut from the crown moving forward. And now for the top, I always blow dry the hair from the back, from the crown start going forward, keeping my blow dryer set on the medium heat and medium fan. I set the roots. If the roots are set, then your style will hold all day. If the roots are not set, doesn't matter how well you blow dry the ends, the roots will really collapse. So it is very important that you set the roots. It is important that you don't hold the blow dryer for very too long. As you can see here, I just hold it for a second and remove it, otherwise you will burn your client. And there it is, that's your final cut. It's a fade with a comb over. Thank you for watching my video. Please don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, mcbarber.com is my website.